Today, we're going to be talking about OneSignal push notifications in Webflow. My name is Pato Vargas. I'm a senior developer advocate for OneSignal, and the agenda is going to consist in 5 steps. First is going to be the overview. The second, we're going to be talking about the problem. The third, the solution for the demo, and then we're going to have a small time for you to ask any questions that you may have around the presentation. So let's talk about the overview. Before I begin, there are 4 questions that I need to answer in order for the audience to understand the concepts that I'm going to be touching and talking about during the webinar. The first one is, what is OneSignal? Well, OneSignal is a market leader in customer engagement, powering mobile and web push, email, SMS, and in-app messages. OneSignal sends around 8 to 9 billion push notifications a day. That is like a lot. That's insane. Now, I need to define what is Webflow. Well, Webflow is a no-code solution for building a website, right? And you're going to be able to host your website in there as well. You don't need to have technical background nor ability to write a single line of code in order for you to deliver a website. So that is the power of Webflow. It's super powerful, very easy to use. Check it out. Now, a really important concept that I want to talk about is web push notifications. Web push notifications are clickable pop-up messages that appear on the user's browsers. Subscribers can be anywhere on the browser and still receive the messages, right? And the cool thing about push notifications is that you don't have to have the website that you subscribed open. You literally can be doing something else, and then you're gonna get the push notification regardless you have the website open or not. And that is doable thanks to the JavaScript service workers. Now, you might be wondering, what is a JavaScript service worker? Well, a JavaScript service worker is a thread or a job that runs in the background of your website. You know, service workers can help you to do different things. They can help you to cache assets, to cache pages. They're going to help you to receive the push notifications, right? And they can even help you to make your website faster, you know, to improve performance. So service workers are essentially the engine that are going to make things happen to your website in order for it to receive the push notifications. So if we look at this diagram right here, right, we can see that we have the web app, right, which is what the user sees. Then we have the service worker, like sort of like in the middle between your cache and your network. The cache will be essentially a small piece of memory that lives somewhere, right? And your service worker interacts with that memory. That way, when you save things into your cache, your website is going to load faster because you're not going to be retrieving things from your server all the time. You're going to now retrieve them from the cache, which that cache lives in your browser. So it's something super cool. Now, the problem is that Webflow doesn't support for you to upload custom files, right? Those files can be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you name it. Webflow doesn't support this. The problem with this is that in order for you to have a service worker, you need to upload the service worker to your server, right? And without the service worker, you are not going to be able to receive the push notifications. So now you see where I'm going, right? A few months back, I wanted to see if it was possible for me to add push notifications into my Webflow site. Sadly, it wasn't doable. So I started doing some research, and I found in the Webflow forum, people having the same problem as me. So for example, there's this person that asked the following. Hello, I have been trying to find a solution to add push notifications to my site built on Webflow. All the push services I have found require you to host a JavaScript file, which doesn't seem to be possible with Webflow. This JavaScript file that this person is talking about is actually the service worker. Is there a workaround to make this work? I have looked at Firebase and OneSignal, but open to any services that I can make this work with. Thanks. Well, essentially, this is not really a problem with OneSignal or Firebase or any other push notification provider. This is a problem with Webflow, right? Because you don't have the ability to upload the JavaScript file that we need to receive the push notifications, which is a service worker. So I thought that that was the only person. And as you could see, this question was asked on February 22nd of this year. So it's actually very recent. But then when I started digging more into the forum, I found that a lot of people are asking this. A lot of people are trying to add push notifications into their Webflow site. Push notifications are amazing because they can help you increase the user experience, right, of your site, and they can also help you automate marketing campaigns. So you can see on this screen, I have this person that asked a question on November of 2017, right? Someone from asked a question in 2018, and these questions have been living forever, and nobody really had a solution on how to integrate the push notifications into their site. So now let's talk about the solution. So now I'm gonna actually show you how to add the push notifications with OneSignal into your Webflow site. So the first thing that you have to do is navigate to Webflow. As you can see, I already have an account, right? I'm gonna create a brand new project just in case of you not having one. So you're gonna click in here, new project, and then you're gonna select a template, doesn't matter which one. I'm just gonna select this one right here. And I'm gonna type, you guys are super cool. Then create project. Awesome. Now what you gotta do is go to publish on the right corner. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. And I'm just gonna wait for that to go away. So you click on publish, and then you make sure that this link is selected. If you have a custom domain, feel free to add it. I don't have one. I'm just gonna leave this option selected, and then publish to selected domains. Awesome. So now my new Webflow site is live. So now I'm gonna click here to open it. And boom, beautiful, right? Here's my first Webflow site. But if I go back, right, to the editor, you're gonna click on the W right here, and you're gonna click on project settings. You're gonna see something similar to this. As you can see, I have this option that says custom code. This option is only gonna be available to you if you have a paid plan with Webflow. If you click in here, right, it allows you to add code, right? If you know how to code, awesome. You can write wherever you want in here. You can write JavaScript, HTML, CSS, whatever. The problem is that Webflow doesn't give you the option to upload a file. So you might be thinking, well, what about if I just copy the service worker code and just paste it in here and save my changes, and then that should be able to work? Well, that is not gonna work, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason is because the service worker runs separate from your website, right? So it actually needs to be running in the server. So you need to host this file in the server, not in your website. So now what I have to do is to tell Webflow to start using OneSignal. So now the next step is going to be going to onesignal.com, right? And you're gonna create a free account, right? And if you don't have an account, create one. I already have one. So I'm just gonna click login. And then it's gonna take me to my dashboard. As you can see, I have a lot of projects already. Your dashboard might be looking different. So now you're gonna click on new app, website. And I'm gonna name it, let's say OneSignal Webinar Webflow. And I want you to make sure that you click on this icon right here that says web. And then you're gonna click on next, configure your platform. Awesome. So as you can see, this is where we're going to be setting up the configuration for the push notifications and essentially OneSignal. So right here, I'm going to type the name of my site. You can name it however you want. Like I said, you guys are super cool. Cool sites, right? And then right here, you're going to enter the URL of your Webflow site. So I'm going to go back to my Webflow site and I'm going to copy the link, go back to OneSignal, paste it, right? And here's the trick. In order for you to get the push notifications working, you need to make sure that you click on my site is not fully HTTPS, even if it's HTTPS. So you're going to click in here, right? And you're going to name it however you want. It could be cool club, right? Then you're going to scroll down and you see where it says 10 seconds. I'm going to change it to 3 seconds just because I'm presenting and I don't want to be waiting 10 seconds for this pop-up that you're seeing on the screen to appear. So I'm just going to put 3 seconds and click on done. Boom. Then now you're going to click in this blue button right here. This is the magic trick. This is what is going to make the push notifications actually working with your Webflow site. So you see, it's an actual trick, right, that OneSignal has. So essentially, what you're seeing right here is a sub website, right? It's a website that is essentially going to live under your Webflow domain, right? So now this website that you're going to see on your screen when you navigate into your site and you want to subscribe, this little website right here is actually going to hold the service worker, the same service worker that you didn't have the opportunity to live, to have a living in the Webflow site. So once you have done that, I'm just going to customize it, and then I'm just going to type a message right here. Cool kids. OneSignal. Then a view Z is right there. And then you can customize the buttons, how they look like. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then I'm gonna click on done. I'm gonna scroll down. And as you can see, this is how the welcoming message is gonna look like, right? This is not a push notification. This is an actual notification. A notification is different than a push notification. A notification comes from the website itself, right? And a push notification comes from the server. In this case, your server is going to be the one from OneSignal. So OneSignal is your push notification provider. Now, you can visualize it. You can see how it looks like on Android, Windows, and Mac OS. Looks beautiful, perfect. I'm going to keep scrolling down, and I'm going to click on save. And then this is the part that we're going to be using to tell Webflow that I want my Webflow site to start using OneSignal. You have two options. You can either copy paste this manually, right, by clicking in here, or you can just click in this button right here that says copy code. So I'm just going to do that, right? And it says right here, copy it to clipboard. Now I'm going to navigate to my Webflow site. I go back. Actually, I need to go to the settings, right? And now in this part right here where it says head code, right? I'm going to paste the code that I just copied from OneSignal, right? And as you can see, it says basically this line right here is telling your Webflow site to pull the SDK from our server. And essentially the SDK is a library that we built for websites to use push notifications. And here's a small configuration for your OneSignal application. Now you're going to click Save Changes. Awesome. The next step is to publish it, right? You want to publish the latest changes, and then you're going to click right here, Publish to selected domains. Now I'm going to navigate to my site. And here it is, right? I have this beautiful site that I just built, right? And as you can see, after 3 seconds, this message appeared. And I don't want to subscribe. So I'm just going to click subscribe. And as you can see, this is the sub website that I was telling you guys about, that it says cool kids, you just want signal, you know, and then I'm just going to click allow to allow the push notifications. And then that is going to close. Awesome. So now you're actually subscribed into the website, which in this case, right now, I'm the only person that is subscribed because I have been the only person using this site. Now I'm going to go back to OneSignal, and then I'm going to click finish. Now you're going to be taken to your dashboard. What I want you to take a look at is the audience. Then I'm going to click on all users. And boom, you can see that one person has subscribed. In this scenario, that person, it's me, right? Country USA, you can see the time. Perfect. Beautiful. So now you have fully integrated push notifications from OneSignal into your Webflow site. Awesome. So now what I want you to do is to go to this website. You can either scan it, right? Or type the URL. I'm just gonna give you, like, let's say 20 seconds to navigate to that site. And you're gonna click allow whenever you go into the website. It's gonna appear on your mobile device or wherever you are visiting the site. Could be your desktop, iPad, or whatever. Keep in mind that Safari, which is a browser, doesn't support push notifications on iPhone devices. They do work on a desktop. They don't work on iPhone devices right now. That's just not something about OneSignal. It's just Apple doesn't support them at all. So just keep that in mind. So go to that site, visit it. If you want to win $1 million, if you don't want them, that's up to you. You know, of course, I want to win $1 million, so I'm definitely gonna go to that site. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go back to projects, and I'm gonna visit that site. Awesome. This is the same site essentially that you're seeing, right? And I'm gonna go back to my OneSignal dashboard, and I'm gonna navigate to that application, which is actually a different one than the one that we just created. So Webflow. And I'm gonna send a push notifications to everyone that visited this site. So now I'm gonna click on messages. You're gonna click on new push. And I'm just gonna type who wants $1 million. Then I'm just gonna some cool emojis. Let's see. I love this one. This is my favorite one. Then I'm gonna scroll down, right? And you can see this is how the push notification is going to look like. So if I keep scrolling down, then I'm gonna send the push notification right now to everyone that has subscribed. I'm gonna click review and send. And nobody actually has subscribed. Nobody visited the site, so nobody won $1 million. But essentially, all you have to do after doing that, you click on send message, and people should be receiving the push notification, right? And the cool thing about OneSignal is that you can see how many messages you have delivered, right? And you can see how many people have received that push notification as well. Awesome. That's all I have for everyone today. Now I'm gonna open the floor to questions and answers. This link right here is gonna take you to the how-to guide that I wrote. Just in case you forgot about the steps that I showed today, feel free to look at the how-to guide, and I'm gonna show you step by step how to do it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and follow our official OneSignal developers account on Twitter as well. we have been posting a lot of technical tweets. So now is the time to Q&As. So I don't see any questions. So I'm just gonna give a few more minutes to anyone that have a question. If not, I'm just gonna end the webinar. Okay, so there's a question. Let's see. Is it free? Yes, OneSignal is free. So why don't we navigate to the OneSignal site? So onesignal.com, and then you're gonna go to pricing, right? And we have a free tier. And of course, depending on your needs, you're gonna purchase or get a different plan, right? In this case, if you just wanna try the product, that's awesome. You can just create a free account, no problem. But keep in mind that the only thing that you actually need to pay is for Webflow to have a paid plan. Why? Because if you don't have a paid plan, you are not going to have the ability to add the custom code from OneSignal, which is the one that we copy pasted. How many messages can OneSignal send at a go? Well, that really depends on your plan. For example, if you take a look to the free plan, you can send 10,000 messages at once, right? So that's actually a lot. I assume that if you are trying to send more messages or more push notifications, you are probably already making money from your site, which probably you're gonna need a better plan for your case. Yes, this is Jose Fuentes. Is this recording webcast will be published on YouTube or shared? Yes, it's gonna be published and shared. I'm gonna share the details on Twitter. I don't exactly know where is it gonna live in our website, but it's gonna live on YouTube. And Innocent Kiboro, I answered your question already, if I'm not mistaken, which is the one on how many. So Innocent Kiboro wanted to know how many notifications you can send. And that's the reason why I was mentioning that you can send up to 10,000 receipts per message. So this is your time to ask any questions. Feel free to do it. No problem. Don't be shy. I'm here to help you out. And maybe you don't have a question right now, and that's 100% fine. And that is the reason why I'm leaving you my Twitter handle in case you want to reach out to me and ask me any question. But if you do reach out to me on Twitter, don't send me a DM. I would love for you to tweet me because there might be other people in the community that may have the same question as you. And by you asking this question on public, they can see that question as well. Seems like nobody has another question. So thank you so much for attending. Like I said, feel free to contact us, right? Or if you really want to integrate the push notification from OneSignal into your Webflow site and you don't remember these steps that I performed today, feel free to visit my how-to guide. It's free, so check it out. And I'm actually gonna go to it for you to see it. So this is the how-to guide, right? Where I show you step by step how to integrate OneSignal push notifications into your site. So all the steps that I performed during the webinar, they are in here. Awesome. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much. Have a good one.